Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna, put it on record. Okay, today we have March 26th, 2020, and now we want to talk a little bit. We collected some questions from some of our tribe, and Gregory's agreed to ask them, and we're going to get the Delphinians to go a little bit deeper into the situation that we're dealing with as humanity, as a family of humanity. You're dealing with a crisis. You're dealing with a plague, and you're ideally joining together in some way, shape, or form in order to improve your own personal consciousness. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, how you're dealing. You know there's a great tendency to isolate yourselves, to fear others, to criticize others, to criticize your leaders, and you can, as you're in this dualistic world, you can say black and white, if you like. And all of those aforementioned behaviors are in the black, are in the shadow. And just expand the shadow. If you criticize another, if you criticize China, for instance, for how they dealt with this outbreak, you're feeding the shadow side. You're feeding the shadows. You know that the world is one, the earth is one planet. All of the lands are connected by the sea. You know that the sea is crying out for relief, for help with the pollution, the over farming, fishing, etc. The whole world is in a bit of a crisis, out of control. And what you can do as an individual is sit down first. Just sit on it. Sit down and observe. Watch yourself. Watch your own panic. Watch your own resistance. Watch your own habits of distancing yourself from your brother man. How do you distance yourself from others? Usually through criticism. Usually by criticizing the others. They're doing this wrong, they're not doing this right, etc., etc., etc. And you've all been there. You all know that certain, let's call it a vibration. And this is what has to end. What is love anyway? We've been talking about love forever and ever. Forgiveness is very close to the love nature. And now's the time to forgive. Now's the time to forgive everything, anything, everyone, anyone, immediately, before you spend one thought in criticizing another. Forgive them. Just have inside of your mind the importance, the value, the necessity of forgiving. Forgive. Because in order to go over this, in order to come back into harmony with your planet, you have to forgive yourselves. You have to forgive every error, every misstep you've ever made as a mass of humans. You're in this together. This is the silver lining, you might say, in this mass hysteria in facing a microorganism. A teeny tiny little organism brings you all together. Amazing. One tiny little thing brings you together to understand that you are one mass. You are not separated. You are not separated by race, by religion, by sex, gender. You're one. You're all in this together. And coming together as a consciousness, of course, is the best. Those who are creating opportunities for mass meditations, prayer, bravo, good for you. That has to happen. This is realizing that there's power in numbers. There's work to be done as humans to become more human. What does it mean to be human? Has been forgotten in this mass rush for technology, for communication, for more. So, we greet you, Gregory, now as an old friend. Come forward and speak up. What is on your mind? You're representing our small tribe, and thank you for that. What's on their minds? Every question is valuable. You know, we've always said that.
Sure. Actually, I believe that you almost answered in the core of the questions. But anyway, because this is taken from various members, let's say, of the tribe, I will try to put them, as much in a good sequence as possible. The last year, actually, in February in Thessaloniki, you warned us that 2019 was the year of relaxation, because 2020 was the year where fireworks would start. We couldn't believe into that, and actually now we see that this is happening on a big scale. Also, you have mentioned in Kabbalah that the world economy will collapse. Has this started already?
You know, we always play it safe. We never come out with a list of predictions, or we don't like to reveal so much the prophetic nature of this source. It's more of a protective, healing nature. We've leaned towards that side, you know, and we want to encourage anyone who's ever had any contact with us, and even if they've even heard about us, to bring us into their energy field. It's very simple to open up your arms as if you're embracing and pull us in. Ask us, come in and and join me in my position here on the planet. Of course, we tried to warn you. We've told you we are not doomsday prophets, and we won't be. Now we warn you, and we guide you towards a more loving beingness, because this is the healing. Becoming love. Now, we did say the fireworks would start, and you see them now. We don't have to say anything else about that. We will not talk about the world economy, because any time that you're hearing something about the economy, it's your opportunity to evaluate your own degree of greed. As we have always said, very easy to look at the 7 deadly sins. They got them right. Analyze yourselves. What's motivating you to worry about the world economy? Are you going to lose your stocks? If you imagine a harmonious tribe of humans living together on planet Earth, working together, even striving together for better life for all, you would imagine there would be a lot of sharing, wouldn't you? You would imagine that the term my, mine would not be used so often. It would be ours. Correct?
Sure.
And this, unfortunately, you know, anyone who's raised a child, unfortunately, sometimes you have to withhold something from that child in order for them to learn. Sometimes children are put in isolation in the classroom, go sit in the corner for misbehavior, correct?
Yep.
So, dream a new world. Dream a world where humans are one rather than separated. Because it's in that separation where the shadows exist, you see? Or the discontent. Go on.
Yeah. How long this havoc, let's say, will last across all levels of the humanity? Social, economic, mental, whatever.
How long will it last?
Yeah.
You know, when you get when you get an illness, when you get a cold, okay?
Yeah.
In the beginning, you don't feel so bad, and then you you feel really bad, and then you don't feel so bad, but you don't feel so good either, you know? There's a peak of illness, and then then there's the recovery phase, okay?
Yeah.
Where you're still not 100% good health. So that's how long it will last.
Right.
You haven't reached the peak yet, okay? It's still climbing now. And we're not talking about only your small country. Now we're talking about the whole world, okay? This is a worldwide phenomenon. Fascinating. Very good indicator that the time has come for humanity to wake up and understand that they are one.
Well, this virus seems to be a serious threat to humanity, but is there also, we realize there is also a degree of exaggeration of the current situation from the media, month by month.
Now, newsmen are supposed to be part sensationalism, aren't they? Isn't that part of their job? They want to catch your attention, don't they? What do you expect? Is there something new about that? The media, that's part of their job. Part of their job is to catch your attention, to get your attention, to have you stay focused on what they're saying. How do you do that? With a bit of sensationalism, a bit of exaggeration, perhaps. This is, as each of you are forced to come into your own center, to move into the center of yourself. You're discouraged from going out and joining groups and being social, right? You're being pushed to go into your own center, to centralize your energy. Move it in. Of course, it's a nice idea for everyone to do some meditation that helps them to go in. Even a simple meditation we've shared before of walk inside yourself. Close your eyes. Imagine that you're taking a walk inside. What are you finding? What are you discovering? What's there? Simplest meditation that you can do. Go take a walk inside yourself. So, you're watching the news, you're looking at the media, you're reading the newspaper, whatever, to entertain yourself. It's part entertainment.
Sure.
When you're alarmed, that's a time to go back inside and investigate. Ask yourself, how much of this is really relevant, is really true? Is it just sensationalism? It's a time of self-discovery. It's a time of self-realization. This is a great time for self-realization. Many persons are without jobs, without external distractions. But as humans, you always want to be entertained, so you distract yourself with news, with whatever. See it for what it is the answer. See it for what it is. What to believe yourself. Go inside. Take a walk inside and find yourself. Look for those parts of yourself that's desperate for something sensational to entertain you. It is sensational anyway. It's amazing how much chaos is accompanying this viral outbreak. We've called it a plague. It is a plague because it's plaguing everyone. It's in everyone's mind. And it's very important not to frighten the small children. This is those are the ones that need to be protected because they are watching. The small children have not lost the path to their inner self. They can easily go in and come out and go back in. Before age 7, they're very impressionable because that pathway is wide open. And it's important to protect those children. How? With love, with light, with trust. There's changes happening and things will improve. That's what they should be encouraged to know. Go on.
I heard the day before, I heard President Trump in the morning saying that the U.S. will have to open up for business. And when he was asked when does he see that, he answered, "We will see." Is that an indicator? Because actually we know that the America is leading the planet. Is that an indicator that maybe the U.S. will be the first, let's say, to drop the degree of exaggeration or to avoid all this massive hysteria and proceeding further, uplifting, let's say, some of the isolations?
Now, when you have a tribe, okay, you have some leaders, some tribe leaders, some who you look towards for guidance and direction, and always in the Aboriginal tribes on the planet Earth, and not only in Australia, but all over the planet, there were tribes of humans. There was guidance that was delivered through a connection with a source, okay? The connection between let's just say it, the earth and the sky, or the spirit of God and the spirits of the land were communicating, right? They were communicating. There wasn't a great deal of separation. At the moment, in this moment in time, there is a great deal of separation between the spiritual realm, however you want to define the creative source, all that there is, the great spirit, God, many names. There's many names for this source. And of course, the great Mother Earth, that other source, and you're living between those two. Somehow, as a human, the spirit that incarnates within your form is between those two. This is why it's so important to stay grounded, stay with the earth, be conscious of how the earth speaks, what the earth wants, what the earth needs, as well as to stay in touch with your own entity, because your entity is the spokesperson for the field of energy that is, let's say, vibrating at a higher frequency than your own entity. You know, there are degrees of vibratory spiritual energy. We don't like to delineate one between the other because it's an open avenue. You're not blocked. This is the point to understand. You're not blocked. So when you hear Mr. President Trump talk about what he's projecting, you hope that he's going inside himself to find out the real truth. He's talking to his council, as he has a great council around him, you know. He's not a dictator, even though some would like to imagine he is. He's very much in a council, and he's projecting. Now, whether that's true or not, go inside and find out. He has a certain perspective that he can see an outcome if things are left closed up for too long. As you know, that is one of the world leaders, the United States.
Of course.
And everyone knows that. Go on.
Right. I have one question, particularly from Babis in Holland. He quotes that I am convinced that this is a dynamic process of ascension towards a level where the connection with our source will be more creative. I mean the awareness of our expanded self, which is ready for some of us to merge to a level of creativity. The new currency will be energy currency. So let's welcome a new earth. What is your point of view on his comment?
Namaste is our view. Bobby is connected, has been connected, has a great deal to offer, and he has a very good perspective on what is the gift that comes along with all of the grief that appears through this transition. We encourage you, Bobby, to put the message out yourself. Now, you see what's happening here. There's a great human effort next door to open the earth, to get to the source, to break through. They're breaking the earth. And of course we have our channel here to bring a protective field to this area of your lovely country, Greece. It's unpleasant.
As individuals, even within our small tribe, let's say, how can we offer protection to the earth? besides Jane, let's say?
Now, many of you are already on the job. Many, you are yourself, as you seek the moments where you can have one-on-one contact with the Great Mother. Don't you? Many of you do.
Of course.
And when you're doing that, you're communicating. You are in communication with the Mother Earth.
Well, actually, I can use the word I'm in love, not only in communication.
And you're all on the job. Those of you who know the necessity of getting out there and walking in the nature, being with the Mother, communicating. She's receptive, she's responsive to you. All of you who have been in the ceremonies, opening the archaeological sites, are in contact with the earth. You're all conduits of energy, and that energy should be of hope, of love. We've said many times, watch what you're thinking when you're walking. Be conscious. Don't be criticizing anything. This is what has to really change on your planet. The critical mind needs to come into a type of balance. Tapping the head is very good, you know. If you have criticisms in your head, if you want to criticize Donald Trump, you want to criticize the newspapers, you want to criticize your wife, your husband, your boss, you know, you can just tap your head and let the thoughts go out. It's not time to criticize. It's time to forgive. Forgive. Like that. Tap.
Right. Another question from Sophia Germanli is that what do we have to do regarding our diet in order to overcome this crisis?
What do you have to do to what?
What do we have to do regarding our diet? You know, what we have to eat?
Regarding your diet. Now, you all know the necessity of what you put in your bodies has an effect. What is the vibration of that substance? And at the same time, you can increase the vibration of it with your own hands. If you're a meat eater, for instance, you can rub your hands and you can bless the food with your own energy field. Bless it, that you bless the creature that gave its life for you to survive. Bless the race of creatures, all the brothers and sisters of that particular creature that you're going to ingest. Bless them all. Send the love to the chicken population, or whatever you're choosing to eat at the moment. It's very important to understand and accept that energy is flowing. It's free. It's free. No one is blocked from light besides from their own mind and consciousness. That's what creates the blocks. You create your own isolated shadow box around you. And you can open that. You can love everything. You can love anything. It can flow out of you. So we're not going to give a very long, drawn-out discussion on diet, telling you things you already know, or that we've already said. There's a great repository of information that has been made available by all those hard workers who have been assisting this project from the beginning, and you can go there and read it. You can find it. It's available. It's not blocked. All you have to do is sign up or something and take it. Go on.
Few of us have expressed some memory feelings from Atlantis, where we faced similar situations, let's say with not such a good outcome, and those feelings are coming up to the surface again, and some of us also looking for escape. How can we ease that process so the feelings of the past are emerging again to be eased, let's say, or pacified?
Feel them. Let the feeling come up. Let it, writing is a great tool. Write down what you're feeling. Write down your memories, as this experience has the potential to open up a greater connection to your own entity, as Bobby says. Write down your memories. Write down what you felt, what you see, what you feel, what you're thinking. Let it out. Let it flow, This is not the time to block anything. This is the time to release in order to restore. Your spirits are being restored in the process of the transformation of humanity into a greater tribe of oneness. So, Atlantis, yes, it's a memory. And it's a reminder that you will survive as a race. You will not be annihilated. You will survive. The earth is a very forgiving energy. This is why the humans have been able to cooperate for so long with the great planet. Because the earth is very forgiving. We've said the earth is waiting with open arms to transform all of your negative emotions and give them back to you as positive energy. So use the earth. Let the earth also remember Atlantis. Give it back to the earth. Perfect time for catharsis as well. If you have anything left over, all of you who have been on this spiritual path for years, now's the time to empty it all out. And be empty. You have nothing. What do you really have? What do you have? You don't want fear. Let go of it all. And put your hands on the Great Mother. Surrender. Surrender. Allow your spirit to become one with the earth's energy. Allow yourselves to be.
There is also a very subtle feeling in some of us again of happiness. And this undermined feeling of happiness, this subtle feeling of happiness.
That you've been waiting for this, You've been waiting for the great shift. You all knew it was coming. You all knew something had to hit a peak of crisis on the planet so that everyone would look in the same direction. So that everyone on the planet, you've known that there have been, everywhere on the planet Earth, there are those who are turning back to nature, turning to spirit, becoming more selfless, becoming more conscious of their need to heal their whole selves, the understanding that humanity needs to awaken to the necessity of union. Don't forget that reading. Union, we are united. And through these great plagues, through the crises that occur, unity follows. Unity. You come together.
So I can assume that unity with union with God, it's much easier to quote the words of a spiritual master and your quotes as well of the past. Union with God, it's much easier now.
The path is being more is open. You have to open the path yourselves by going inside. It's time for meditative practice. It's time for every human to understand the necessity of a personal practice. Now, we suggested to you years ago to take that specific practice that suits your temperament. And you took it, and you persist. You do it. You don't stop. You know that it's necessary. Daily practice. It's necessary. It's not only on Sunday when you go to church, you're going to have your contact with your source. It's every day. You do something that connects you to that great spirit that enlightens all, touches all, whether you want to name it Jesus Christ, or you want to name it Allah, or whatever. It's the same.
So, we talk to people on the phone, because now it's hard to be on the streets. We talk to people that we know, not necessarily friends, and we exchange some social, let's say, information of what's happening. What is a good, there are people that are Christian, Orthodox, whatever. What would be an ideal, actually, phrase or word to say? You know, because a lot of them, there is a lot of pessimism, there is a lot of, all these negative feelings. Is there something that we can say to cheer up their spirits as well?
Probably it's better if you talk, if you communicate with someone and they need to express some type of criticism, negativity, whatever you want to, let's say negativity, just because you're in the dualism. Best not to say anything. Don't feed it. But give them the space. Allow them to emote without a response. Silence. Greet them in silence until they exhaust themselves. At the same time, you can imagine a depository of the dark shadow or dark smoke or whatever you want to imagine that's coming from their expression. They have to get it out. Just let it deposit, not on you, but over there into the earth. And if you greet them with silence, that's much louder than words. That's a shout out. Because when someone is complaining about the newspaper, the government, the China, the America, whatever, they want you to join them and start complaining too. If you greet that in silence, at some point they're going to realize that you're not participating with them. What the heck's going on, you know?
Sure.
What's going on? What's happened? And in that moment, when they realize that you're not participating with them, that's when they can get emptied. That's when it can empty right out of them without their conscious let go. Without them consciously letting go, they can be emptied of it. If you greet them in silence, if you greet negativity with silence, you're doing a great service. Because people need to complain sometimes. But you don't need to respond to that.
Well, especially in this country, we complain a lot. It's in our nature.
Silence.
One last question. I have, in the past, let's say 2 weeks, when this whole thing started to speed up, there are days, there are moments, maybe seconds during the day, where I have a feeling. It starts, let's say, from my brain, from my head, and goes all down to my body. A slight vibration, which sometimes it goes very fast, like it's a vibration like, oh, now what's going to happen? I'm going to be disappeared or teletransported or something like that. This sort of vibration. It lasts maybe for seconds. Maybe if I count up to 5 or 6. It's a feeling. It goes. It comes and goes. It doesn't make me worry or anything like that. I'm just observe that. Any comment on that?
Now, this is a transformational vibration. Don't overlook the facts that you have been questing after your spiritual nature for many years.
Sure.
It's not something new. You haven't just woke up today and said, maybe I should be thinking a little bit more about God. You've been thinking about God for almost forever. So, as more people awaken, just look at it like this. You're at a slumber party, okay?
Yeah.
And you have 30 friends, and they're all sleeping, okay? And you wake up,
Yeah.
and then there's silence. You feel the silence. And the slumber party's, it's your birthday party, okay? Everybody came to sleep overnight to celebrate your big 60th birthday, whatever. So, as more and more of those friends wake up, you're going to start feeling a vibration, aren't you? You're going to feel somebody's waking up. Oh, another person woke up. Another person woke up. You see this?
Yeah.
Another person woke up. Until everybody's awake, and then the big celebration begins. And then the fireworks start, don't they?
Yeah.
And then comes the fireworks. When everybody on the planet wakes up, comes to understand a new, old way of being. Cooperation, community. This is our planet. It's ours to take care of, not to slice up and break up and make some money, etc., etc. So when you're getting those, that's an indication that somebody else in your tribe, it's a whole dissertation on how energy moves through consciousness, through entities. Let's say you have a family, you know who they are. You have another family, your spiritual family, everyone who you ever participated in any type of questing, if you took a Tai Chi class or a yoga class or the reading groups. This is all your family. It grows and grows. Now, your entity also has a family. Perhaps your entity participated with another entity in order to create something valuable on the planet Earth, etc. So, if somebody in that other entity wakes up, you might feel it. Depends on how open you are. Okay? So, you get those shifts. You're feeling the shifts. So every time you feel that shift, say a little prayer. God bless you. God help you. God bless you. Now's the time to be blessing everyone. God bless you. God bless you, Donald Trump, to do the best job you can in leading your nation. God bless you, the country of China. It's time for blessing. It is. Okay?
No more questions, yeah.
Now, we've done a great deal of energy work throughout this communication to assist in the movements that are occurring now. There's so much to be learned, so much to be embraced as you all start a new decade,
Yeah.
a new decade, the Roaring 20s, okay?
Yep.
Good day.